We're here with the tournament winner, Fabiano Caruana. Congratulations.
Nice.
So, bit of a familiar situation. You have a Russian opponent in the last round. You played Petrov. The draw is enough for tournament victory in this d4, 94, d5 line, and you win the game.
Yeah, I did realize the similarities to the last round of the candidates. Fortunately, I looked at the line a bit, and I noticed the computer was suggesting a very strange looking move.
Peter was very upset. He had this up his sleeve.
You had prepared queen d7. No, I just checked it after my game against Sasha, but very, very briefly.
Yeah, because it's the second line of the computer on high depth.
Yeah, the computer is basically showing that this is a decent move, and it's also very confusing. But I think that Nikita played a very critical way. Although I couldn't remember pretty much. I mean, there are a bunch of moves like knight b3, bishop b2, or you could even take, but this doesn't lead to much, and I think it's also very unlikely that someone would take over the board. But I mean, queen d7, once you look at it, actually starts to become very logical, because I don't want to move my knight back yet, I don't want to trade yet, and I can't really play bishop b7 because of knight e4. So this just protect him as knight e4. And yeah, this was critical because my knight on e4 is well placed.
If you instead of g6, can you go knight e6 directly to stop this knight b3, knight b4, or is that never a threat anyway?
I vaguely remember that I wanted to play g6, but it's also possible I didn't want to, because the positions always look very similar, and maybe here knight f1 is a move. I don't know if the knight is well placed here, but it can decide where it wants to go. Anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time trying to figure out the subtleties, because probably every move is possible and more or less equivalent. And yeah, I was actually sort of thinking he might just go for something like this, but I mean, maybe with d8 this might look very comfortable for black. It's actually good to have the queen on d7, I think, because my development is slightly more harmonious. Okay, he played a logical way. And I was kind of half expecting this, because this didn't look very promising to me. And I was just going to play h6. And now d4 is a threat, so c3, b6, and bishop b7. And although I don't have much development, white also sort of seems aimless. I just don't quite see the next move for white. And I'll follow up like bishop g7, and sometimes knight c6 is working out because I can sack this pawn. Yeah, I didn't see the next move. So knight g5 also felt pretty logical. I mean, this I wasn't 100% sure about. I was trying to figure out knight c6 or queen d5, and white can castle, so this looked very dangerous. At least I didn't really want to allow this. And if I tried to just develop with like b6, I thought I might get under some sort of attack. Like rook e1, castle, bishop g4. And it felt easier for white to play. So I thought b6 is a very logical move. I just protect the c5 pawn. I don't see any move besides taking. I mean, there are some ideas like c4 here, but it didn't ever seem to quite work out. And I could always play d4. Yeah, maybe even queen e6 is playable. Because here I play bishop g7, which I think is important. And taking, I felt it should be more or less fine. And the knight on b3 is really misplaced. But I thought that fe6 is sort of more positionally motivated. I mean, because now my structure is very secure, and I didn't quite see how he would approach this position. I thought a4 is more or less correct, and here I thought he would just stop the d4 push.
Yeah, Magnus mentioned instead of a4 that white should play c3, and he said, okay, it can't be too bad.
Yeah, I think that you can include a4 just, I don't think it's bad. You can also play with instead of a4, play castle. But I think it more or less comes out to the same thing. Yeah, I can play bishop h6 maybe, which is still kind of annoying. But at least here, you know, I can play queen d2, and there's no d4.
When you play moves like fe6, do you take the tournament situation into account at all? Because you're not sure if a draw is enough for clear first, or do you just try to?
No, I mean, before the game, if I'm playing the Petrov, he can make a draw in like 25 different ways. But I didn't want to allow him any sort of initiative, I thought. After fe6, he'll have to, I mean, start to play consolidating moves, and we'll get some sort of position, which seemed okay to me. And queen e6, who knows? Yeah, I'll have to start calculating, and although maybe it's, I mean, a cleaner way to equalize in some ways, but why should I allow any tactics with like bishop f3, c4? And yeah, I was really surprised he allowed this d4 in general, like he didn't play c3 at some point. And this looked very attractive. I wasn't sure if he would play a5 or maybe queen e1, but queen e1 I wanted to answer with knight e7 anyway. And after a5, I was a bit torn. Because okay, rook d8 I didn't really like. I thought he would play queen e1, castle queen h4, and I mean I have to go back. And I can't really, I mean I can play in knight e7, but I didn't want to allow the rook in. And so I was kind of torn between allowing my bishop to go back, but it is sort of a positional concession for him. Then I decided I really don't want this bishop to go to c8. And I thought, okay, he'll have to do something a little bit awkward, probably to like bring the bishop somewhere where he doesn't want to. I don't know, maybe c1. Or, yeah, rook f3, I don't know if this is possible, because I can't quite take on e5. But in any case, maybe we'll play knight e7, and then slowly queen c7, bishop d7, try to regroup. And maybe in the long run, a6 is really not a good move for him. But I just felt like this would look more natural. And bishop g4 also surprised me quite a bit. I wasn't exactly sure what I was expecting. I think maybe c3, knight f5. Although this looks pretty sad. And I mean, I spend more time considering stuff like this, where he tries to at least oppose my bishop. And I thought that even g5 would be very strong. If he takes bishop g7, his center is collapsing, and his king becomes very weak.
Rustam was mentioning, because we had Rustam in this type of structures, and we discussed it.
G5 always, yeah?
No, not always, but yeah, there was a moment when he said maybe it's time for g5 and play Morozevich style.
Yeah, I felt like this is, I mean, a great moment to do it when white's knight is still out of the game, and when I have, I mean, all his pieces are hanging. Knight f5, d4 is coming. And this, okay, is a move with a, he's just trying to move up d4, because this is not what I want to allow. He has knight e6, and I don't know, look too messy to even consider. And yeah, I guess, I mean, okay, I kind of spent my time here because I saw this queen d3 and I just wanted to figure out exactly what I'm doing before rushing in with d4. Yeah, he can't really do this because c4 is often coming. I don't know if knight before or later, but his bishop really belongs on c1. And queen d3 is a very annoying move because the queen is going to h3. And it forces me to either do something like this, which I didn't want to allow the trade of bishops, and then his knight will come back eventually. And I mean, I guess he's still a bit worse, but I really wanted to keep pressure on that 4. Because he can't play knight d2, he can't play bishop f3, and if he takes, then he kind of runs into this. And I have a feeling I'll probably win this position. So he played correctly. And yeah, here I noticed this idea already, like knight f3 I was expecting, and I just wanted to play queen e7, just to stop knight h4. And bishop d2 and h6. Because h6 immediately allows knight h4, and he trades pieces, which is good for him because he's so cramped. So here he can't play bishop e1 because of knight e3. And I am going to play bishop e4 at some point, or just slowly advance b5, who knows what else. And I thought if you play c3, I'll just play d3. And this pass pawn will be really strong. So c4 came as a slightly unpleasant surprise, because I really wasn't sure. I mean, every instinct told me to keep the pass d pawn. But I couldn't see the next move. I mean, like a queen e7, bishop d2, h6 now his bishop e1, because e6 is hanging. And knight h4 is going
h5, you just thought was too much in all these positions?
like at this moment, or?
For example?
And how do I take that? I mean,
Not EF?
yeah, yeah, because otherwise I'm knight h4. I mean, I didn't want to do this, but I guess it's playable. It's probably still better for black, because the knight on g5 will always get attacked. I'm still not sure what I'll really do. What's so easy after b3? Maybe he'll even bring a knight to d3. I'm not sure this is so easy to actually make progress. Or maybe just queen g3, knight g5. I didn't want to weaken my king so much. I'm still not sure if I made the right decision. But I thought at least here he has a huge amount of weaknesses.
We thought practically it was a very good decision. We didn't check with the compy here, but it looked like now it's much easier to play for you, no, with the upcoming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm often invading on d3. Okay, so he takes, might as well. If knight f3, I was just going to play queen e7, and then he can't play bishop d2, and I didn't see how he develops his pieces here. And so I was thinking he would play bishop e2, which looks like a sad backwards move, but I mean, the bishop just isn't doing much on g4. And I thought that here at least, his bishop is more active on e2. Although still b4 looked very unpleasant to me. Oh, sorry. And yeah, I have a passed pawn, and his queen is still kind of sidelined. But maybe objectively I'm not that much better. Yeah, and here, okay, I played, I think, natural moves. And here it definitely went off the rails for him. Because I think, for better or worse, he had to go for this. It looks strange to provoke b4, but knight f6 is now a threat. And I spent my time, or I mean, it was more like his time, calculating this. This is forced, because rook e2, rook d1. Rook d3, this is again forced. Rook d8, okay, now rook d1 is a threat. And here I saw something very strong, which now I can't remember. Something was really strong here. And now I just don't see it. Maybe I didn't even see anything here. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. I know, bishop f8. No, it's not here. Yeah, because here rook b7 threat is made. I saw a position with the pawn h6 and I thought bishop c5 would be strong. Well, maybe this is still atrocious for white. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought this is very difficult to go for, where you can't move any pieces and your back rank is weak. And maybe in the worst case, I could just go for this. At least I'm not risking anything. I mean, the queen on h3 is just so poorly placed. Maybe you, with very accurate defense, you might escape.
Instead of queen e7, finally the computer line for you, did you consider bishop takes e4 here?
Briefly, but I didn't see tactics, and then I thought, why? I don't see any.
Yeah, because we were confused. Computer, what was he doing?
Yeah,
h5 here?
h5, yeah, he was claiming that h5, bishop e2 and rook
e8,
e8.
and he was very happy for us.
Yeah, he was like giving -1.
Well,
But okay, we explained that there is no way someone wants to depart from his light square bishop.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of considered it because the knight is very annoying, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't even think. I just stopped my calculation here because h5 bishop e2 looks like it helps white, and I didn't see what else I'm doing. And here I'm still not sure what we want.
And then c4, and that was this.
It's a deep positional concept. Yeah? Queen f3 and then like queen d5 is some sort of domination.
I'm out of book now. I only need to rook a8.
Yeah, it's probably brilliant, but I didn't really consider it too seriously. Anyway, I thought he should have something better than what he did, because this is just basically resignation. I mean, he could have done this earlier, and I wanted to play queen e7 h6 voluntarily. So I thought it was very funny that he kind of just gave me 2 tempi for free. And yeah, I just didn't see any defense anymore. When it comes to d3, nothing to do about that. And maybe you can start to really grovel. But I mean, you might also start to feel very stupid after moving your knight 5 times in a row. And anyway, it still looks atrocious. But this is already, I mean, clearly, you just can't survive this tactically and also in the long run. Yeah, and here I'm just invading. So he traded queens, and I started to, as usual, get a bit confused in a completely new position. Although, I mean, for some reason I was considering this, and then I realized that he has knight g6 and knight e7, and or knight, I don't know where the king goes, but probably still winning. Looks pretty bad. Then I thought, why play such a weird looking move? Well, I can play c4 and then king f2, and here I spent like so much time on this move. And then I'll take. I wasn't like 100% sure. I mean, it must be winning. But I wasn't, bishop was somewhere. I wasn't 100% sure that this would be winning. And here, bishop f8 looked winning, then after rook b1, I still couldn't make it quite work. I was against stuff like this. And, sorry, not rook b1 first, but first king e2 first. And rook b1, and it feels completely winning, but then, I don't know, it's possible also that I lose my pawns, and even though I win these two, my e-pawn is still weak, so. And then I thought, why not do this? Just consolidating. Also looks kind of positionally motivated. And
do you see the whole line with the knight f5 here, right? When you chose this?
No, after he played knight d4, I mean, for some reason I first thought this would be very massively strong, but then after rook e2, I was surprised that I mean, it still must be a huge advantage, but I didn't see a clear way. And here I was just surprised he took, because he has knight c2. It's clearly very bad for him. And I can go back, and then he can go back. I'm not sure if I really achieved anything with bishop e7. And I mean, I didn't see anything. I figured I'll just throw this in, play bishop e7, knight d4, and think again. But I also didn't quite see, like, this is also must be bad, but maybe not as bad as before. At least I'm not sure that the trade of bishops is very good for him, because now his knight just looks really misplaced on e3. But at least he should do this and set me the problem of how to win this position. I mean, okay, at this side I was pretty sure it was winning. It also starts to remind me of like an e3 shoot.
Yeah, it seems like in the Petrov you always get this pass c pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is just so bad. I mean, the pass c pawn, the weak b pawn. I can probably just start pushing that. I assume at some point I'll get my pawn to c2. But okay, knight d4. I don't really know if my bishop is any better placed there. So yeah, you can still put up a big fight, but this is already.
Yeah, here there was just one moment after knight takes h6, check king g7, f5. It felt like you wanted to make a move immediately. Which move was it?
Yeah, of course I wanted to do this.
Yeah, definitely.
But then I started to wonder, like, maybe it's not. I mean, okay, of course it's winning, but maybe it's not automatic. I mean, his king becomes active, and I don't have that many pawns left. But I'm sure it's completely winning with a few active moves. But then I wanted to play rook e3 immediately, and then I thought, why do this? I mean, now I get my passed pawn, and I'm not sure why I even want this knight on h6. I'll just queen my pawns without taking it. I'm kind of glad, because I have a feeling that if I played this move, rook e3, I would still be playing the game. I'd probably win it soon, but I'd still have to play a bit.
Congratulations. 2 in a row, or 3 in a row if we count along the way. Oh no, Vike was in between.
Yeah, I mean, Rustam is saying let's not count Vike, but I think we kind of have to.
But other than that, life is good, right?
Yeah, things have gone very well in the last 2 tournaments.
Now you have how many days off? 5?
Starts the 18th, so I have a solid
week.
Yeah. If I get home tomorrow, which is not 100% certain at the moment, but I'll try.
There were certain pundits, okay, it was mainly me, that said maybe you're too comfortable with your life in the US, like things are good in St. Louis, you have all these events, all these chess pros to hang out with, you might not have time to work on chess. That theory was not correct?
I mean, I just took his candidates very seriously, we did a lot of work, and I think that the work and the form I was in before that kind of carried over here, even though I was not really very fresh. I was still more or less calculating well. I mean, I was very impatient in a few games, which led to some careless moves, but that was where the luck came in, that my careless moves didn't sort of doom me to any losses. But yeah, in a few games I felt like I was just itching to make a move and I had to restrain myself from not rushing. But still, I was calculating reasonably well throughout the event.
The amount of time you spent preparing for a game here compared to the candidates, what's the ratio?
I mean, the candidates I was going crazy with prep. I would prep pretty much up to the game, and here I didn't really prep much at all. I mean, I decided on what opening I would play, and occasionally, if I felt like I needed to check to repeat a line, I would, but like before the game today, I basically didn't even repeat any of my lines, because I saw that Nikita plays everything, and I thought, why? It's just too much, and I didn't want to do it. And he ended up surprising me anyway, so it would have been a waste of time.
All right, Peter, any final praise?
Well, I mean, it was really nice to see this Queen D7 happen, because when this line appeared in your game against Grishuk, I thought, wow, it's not a very important game for you. Will Fabi come up with Queen D7 there? And then, no, it did not happen. And then seeing it today in a almost equally important game, it was quite pleasing to see that, okay, despite the big euphoria that you had winning the candidates, you still kind of had the inner strength to work on your opening and to recheck this line.
Okay, usually I do this after a game. I'll just briefly check the opening.
But did you really have time in Berlin after your game?
No, I mean, like, okay, not immediately after, but the next day I had a few hours. I didn't spend a few hours, because somehow I saw the moves was mentioned, and then it took me a while to even put it on the board, because I really didn't want to play this move. It just looks so strange. But also, I think that strange moves very often have a very good psychological effect, because your opponent isn't really sure what this is about, and he has to spend his time and energy trying to first figure out what the idea of the move is, and so you gain some time. You know, your opponent expends a bit of energy, and you know, if you kind of know it even a little bit, you're already in a much better position than him.
Yeah, so I think it's a very nice example that we got to see, because people were kind of discussing that probably you have been celebrating and so on, but now we got to prove that those 2 days were enough for celebration, for all the interviews, plus doing really serious chess work, so it's really impressive. Nice to see this.
Congratulations, we'll see you at Frankfurt Airport tomorrow, trying to rebook our flights.
Hopefully not, but hopefully we make our flights.
Yeah, then good luck for it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.